Hey, AD. On the occasion of Kobe Bryant getting into the Basketball Hall of Fame tomorrow, I wondered if you could speak to his impact on your generation of basketball players and you personally. Yeah, maybe not necessarily like his place in the game. Obviously, we all know that he's in the Hall of Fame, but his impact.
Um, I think his impact was very powerful. Before the tragedy, um, I think it just became, even more. He became even more impactful on our youth, on our generation. Um, but I just think that, I mean, you can see it with everyone wearing the shoes, even before um, the way he approached the game, the way he went about, his life, his work ethic. I think it was just very impactful. Just for me, just being someone that known him since I stepped foot in the league, all the way back to the USA team, and just seeing everything he did from, like I said, on the floor, off the floor, um, just kind of inspired me to kind of follow that same path and have that same work ethic. And then just being here, in a Laker uniform was even more like inspiring for me just to try to continue the legacy that he built here. So, um, and I think that goes, for guys all around the league, just being able to realize the importance of his body of work on our game and um, for our generation. He's the guy that everyone looked up to and wanted to be like.
Quick aside, did he ever talk to you about coming to play for the Lakers before you played for the Lakers?
I don't think he did. I know he always talked about it would be he would love he loved playing against me in the Olympics and just seeing how much I've grown as a player. He can only imagine what it would be like, now, which was then, but never um, actually came out and said, I would love for you to be on the Lakers with me, which would have been like a dream, to be
Yeah.
honest.
BT?
And the same to go out there. Do you have a favorite story between you and Kobe when you guys met and played against each other?
Um, I think I told the story a while ago. I was playing in New Orleans, and he was obviously with the Lakers. They were playing in New Orleans, and I was sitting on the bench, and Quincy Pondexter was guarding him. And I think the play before Kobe had dunked and dislocated his right shoulder. Um, and then I think there was a timeout. The next play he comes down, catches the ball in the post. Um, no one knew it was dislocated though. He was just holding his shoulder, just going like this. So, I figured something was bothering him. And then he came down the next play and hit a turnaround jumper left-handed um, from the post. And that always just sticks in my head for a guy to, dislocate his shoulder and continue to play and come down and just say, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot left-handed. Like I can do it. I can get a bucket either with either hand. It's insane to me. And the first time I've seen that, I mean, I've seen guys shoot left-handed and things like that, but to do it in a game, where it counts and it matters is just unreal. So that's one of my favorite Kobe moments for sure.
Kyle?
Hey, D. First, I just do want to ask you how you're feeling in with that adductor. But I also was wondering what role does Mamba mentality play in your life now, even after COVID?
I feel fine. Feel great. Went through some things uh, during practice, not everything, and then we got some working on the side. So felt great. Felt great today. But yeah, I carry that mentality all the way throughout my life. Now, he tried to instill that in me before his passing, and it's kind of like, when something happens, you like, okay, I see now, like you get it, and I get it, from being on the floor, off the floor. It's the way of thinking, and your approach to everything you do in this world. And I think that the entire world has kind of adapted that, um, you know, a lot more since his passing. And it's a great mindset to have, to be honest.
Okay, last question, Harrison.
Hey, Eddie. There's been a lot of talk about the pairing of you and Andre Drummond, that kind of new starting front court. But do you feel like you've had enough time to kind of gel with all three of these centers yourself? And then, I guess, can you talk a little bit about how you feel like the three of those guys help you individually on the floor?
Yeah, I think obviously we don't get a lot of game reps because the rotation is always changing. Depending on the matchup and the game. But I think that us four, the three centers and myself are constantly talking. When I'm on a bench or the time I wasn't playing, and they were playing, we constantly was in talks about our spots on the floor, what it'll be like, what I like to see when I have the ball, when they have the ball, what I like to do to get open and passing, the high low, like all those things. So it makes it a lot easier when you're constantly talking to each other and trying to figure things out. I think Drum just brings that physicality. I mean, he gets us extra possessions. He's able to duck in. That lob threat, kind of like that Blake DeAndre thing they had a couple years back with the Clippers. Their vertical spacing. Mark spread the floor. Now there's no big that can help. When I get to the basket, when I have a post up or anything like that. Now it's a small that's coming to double that I can shoot right over the top. Or if I do have a one-on-one post up, I'm able to have all the space in the paint to make a move for myself or make a play for someone else. And Trez, man, he's just everywhere. Trez is everywhere. He brings that energy. That offensive rebound. We could throw it to him in the post. And now I can space. So it's good having all three guys out there. They all bring a different dynamic to our team, and they're all going to be helpful for us down the stretch.